Hello everyone and welcome to the map El Dorado. Here, joining me in the bottom left corner for today's highlight professional Best-of-5 series of StarCraft 2. A red Protoss player, red probes belonging to herO. And their Zerg opponent, the bottom right corner, the blue hatchery shall be dark. On El Dorado, I was curious if we were going to already have a bit of gold base shenanigans. I saw the little drone dots working their way here, getting through those minerals. One more trip. We'll see. Is it going to be aggressive? Is Dark going to go over here? Or is he just gonna, take the base? Oh, he's just gonna take the base. Okay. Very well, then. Very well, Dark. Have your economics, have your high income yield base here. How will herO respond? I'm very intrigued to see. I was actually quite excited to see that this map was first, because I was curious. I like this map. I do like the layout, I like the setup, I like some of the shenanigans that can happen on it, so we'll see how things unfold. So far, it's PvZ, and things I'd say are relatively normal. herO's going for the Stargate, probably going to be an Oracle. After that, what's it going to be? Probably Moracles, you're right. I know you said it yourself, it's a perfect answer. I think it makes complete sense. Dark, I mean, the third base, totally fine. He's got the pool already. Very, this pool's very out here, though. Like, Dunce Corner spawning pool. What did you do in the last series, okay, to deserve this kind of fate? I have a Stalker heading across the other side and picking off a few... Well, not really killing anything, I think. Did he kill anything? No, Stalker is just being abusive. He's just being a bully. He's coming over here, starting fights and stuff, making sure the queen doesn't get to do exactly what she wants to do. I see the probes are actually going to set this up. Open this up. Oh, one more trip. Hey, look, an Oracle. Hey, look, Moracles. Wow. Okay, herO's going to take this base too. We might get a little bit of battle, a little bit of combat down here with both of them going this route. Opening up the low ground. Low ground? Yeah, low ground works. We have a ramp. I feel like lower part of the map, the southern region, can I go with? The locked path, and the watchtower. This mineral wall still quite intact, but they both have their own singular entrances. Dark sends an OV in, desperate to try to get a little bit of information. See maybe just how many oracles herO's making. Oh, the second Stalker. Pop. Boom goes the Overlord. Stalkers will be successful there. Oracles now able to head across. Find the queens immediately. The downside, I suppose, to having to deal with this base first. Dark is actively spreading creep on this side. It's the potential to get the creep here quite quick. Speedy creep. Roach Warren on the way behind this. Ling Speed Blink coming up. They're both taking exactly what I would expect both of them to take at this point. We're getting into the midterm of the game here. Mid-game term examinations time. It's Christmas, it's that season. All of you semester people, you know the drill here. Spores on the way. The oracles have yet to really find much of an opening, though. The queens have been deflecting them pretty reasonably. It's going to go after a little bit of creep. Will be successful. Which really just makes Dark expend more energy at this point, because he's got the energy. Creep tumors are still going down. Extra hatchery on this side. I need no Vespine gas, Dark says. Just want the minerals. Okay. 14 roaches on the way. This is funny to me. You would think you could take it from this side. You just have to clear these a couple patches. But Dark says, nah. How about not? It's okay. Oracle's weaving around the bottom of the map here. Link speed will finish up right as they make their way in here. No turning on the beam, not going for anything. Dark's queen count is reasonably comfortable. I'll say 6 queens. They're all three oracles. Not really finding a whole lot. herO has not been idle behind this, though. He has been building up. Group of stalkers. They do have Blink, of course. Blink did finish up, so now we might start to see forces come together. Been a few minutes now. Getting everything, all the pieces coming. Roaches here. Looks like they have roach speed. Not yet. Okay. That creep is just really powerful. Hydra Den coming up behind this as well. We got the groove spines on the way. Probably muscular augments. Hopefully lunge eventually. Oracles now doing their duty. Getting down the stasis wards. Dark artfully splitting off one roach. Won't activate that trap. But not trap like, trap. This is herO, not trap for sure. Roach is splitting off, taking the watchtower up top there. Stalkers blinking. Good old blink micro, keeping some of them alive here. Stasis wards still coming up behind this. He's got a couple now. High Templar hitting the field. Do they have Storm? No Storm in sight. So I'm guessing they're for Archons, but herO's of course been a bit busy here trying to deflect the Zerg attack. Nobody collapsing that rock tower. Stasis ward's going to be quite successful, though. Dark not able to split some off to activate those. Now we have just really a group of Hydras here that are going to be kind of alone for a little bit. A few reinforcing Hydras on the top side. Well, Dark could just decide to back out and pressure the Nexus, but with the Stasis wards ending, now the forces can rejoin the battle. Oh god, 2 Immortals up at the top though, and another one halfway done right here. Bit of a risk having the Robo right here, I will say. If herO cannot hold that initial defense, then you lose the Robo, and this is the only Robo, though. Kind of all riding on that, I suppose. Storm 10 seconds away. High Templar will be useful. Rock Tower. Oh, it collapses this way. Perfect. Okay. Dark destroyed the tower, so he says, no, herO, you cannot have this base. I'm taking this one. Dark splitting off. A lot of Hydras. A little bit of else just kind of sprinkled, spruced up there. Going for the natural. herO, out of position, I will say, for this. Is going to have a little bit of a tough time. All of the forces being moved around, though. I'm not sure I agree with leaving this rather unguarded. Nexus attempted to equalize the income there. Positions for Dark Storms. God, where's the lunge? Hive's not yet done. Hive's only halfway completed. Nexus was canceled. Okay, Dark able to shut that down at least. Make herO second guess the decisions a little bit here. Dark is taking this fully gold base down at the bottom, but of course it's just really rocks that are standing in herO's way of taking care of that. Roach Hydra found by the Stalkers. Blink Micro should be able to take care of this pretty easily. Oh god, there's storms here too. But don't put the Templar into melee, herO. Come on. Well, the Stalkers will be able to finish all of it off, albeit at quite a cost, and now Dark knows where they are, so blinking around. Ling's ready to try to trap them, I see. Zealot's gonna help out. Stalker's able to get a little bit of an escape path. Stasis ward triggered by only one Zergling. Oracle falls quickly afterwards. Hive did complete. We do have lunge on the way. Might get to see these Hydras do a little bit of a speedy boost here. The mineral wall's been opened up in the dead center. Okay. Everyone just wants complete free access up and down the map here. Storms going out. There's a decent amount of High Templar and a decent amount of Immortals too. These Zealots do not have charge yet, though. Charge is still 10 seconds away. It is so sad to see the slow lots. Storms going out. Queens taking the brunt of it. Forgot their umbrellas. Good one. Good one. herO seems like might be trying to retreat, actually. The Immortals are taking a lot of damage. The Templar are running out of energy, and there's still quite a bit of Zerg on the field here. Lunge about 10 seconds out. Hydras be able to use their speed boost. Will they use it offensively or defensively? That is the question. Lunge is completed, Hydras. Defensive is the first usage. Get out of that storm a little bit quicker. Showing the cards, though. herO knows about the upgrade now. Knows that Dark is on Hive Tech, which means other things could be coming into play. Does he have a Lurker Den? He does have a Lurker Den. Doesn't appear to be Dark's major interest, though. Just adding on more Hydras and moving some forces up here to the natural again. Stalkers being recalled back home. Blinking to help out. Hydras on the ramp, which is a great spot for the storms. The lunge speed boost not going to help out a whole lot. They're going to have to split them up, sadly. Still quite a bit of Zerg. 4 Immortals not going to be enough. herO's actually going to call it right then and there. Losing the army, losing the fight in the natural. Dark gets the upper hand. Takes map number 1. Map number 2 in the series shall be King's Cove here. The Protoss herO shall occupy the upper left corner, which means, of course, the Zerg shall spawn into the bottom right here. And a bit of probe shenanigans out on the map here. But Dark responds shenanigans of his own. You can't take your hatchery in your natural? Well, fine. Guess where I'm gonna put it? It's going in somebody's natural. Doesn't have to be mine. Probes are pulled already, though. 5, huh? 5 probes. Just enough to barely keep it in check. Nothing pulled, nothing extra really added on. Is the magic number, I suppose. Which means Dark probably isn't actually going to get this up and running. herO also not even really sacrificing any part of the build, just decides to go core first. I've seen some Protoss get a little angsty about it and take the 3rd for their Nexus. Like, okay, you're not Zerg. You don't need to react that heavily to this. Zealot on the way, a solid choice. Great option as well when you're kind of blocked out of taking the Nexus at this point. He's also making a forge. That's unusual. What's the forge for, herO? It's not quite a forge expand. Wow, Dark with the sick cancel timing. Barely gets that off here. Oh no, are you cannon rushing? Don't tell me. Really? This feels like a knee-jerk response, herO. The drones are pulled, but it looks like they're here to mine. Oh, no. The herO tipped the hand, showed the cards. I think that was plus 75, so that was just a pylon, I think. Huh. Yeah, now cannons are coming up. Dark has to respond. No, they rushing each other. Oh my gosh. Drones are pulled. The Zealots here to help out too will absolutely be a solid distraction. Oh, the Adept comes in too and gets in a solid spot right in the middle of the mineral field. Probe's taking a lot of damage though. Cannon on the bottom side here is having a bit of a struggle. Red health. herO. Cancelled just in time. Probe picked off. Queen is here, happy to help out. 1 cannon will complete. And it looks like focusing down drones for the first little bit of its life, but that's really gonna be it. Dark handled this well. herO, I feel like this was just like a knee-jerk kind of impromptu. There's a drone here. Dark. Yeah, that cannon rush, that felt more like a cannon middle finger rush kind of thing. Like it wasn't intentional. It was like, oh, okay, you proxy hatched me, so now I'm gonna do something to you. It's more like a pride statement, ego building kind of move there. Like I can do that too. Adepts, just outside the 3rd base, sticking around. Recall actually, huh? Recalling those Adepts home. Speed is completed for the Zerglings, and the wall is not going to be completed, actually. Lings get into the base, immediately go for the injured Adept. will be successful with that, and I think at this point you just kind of do a little bit of a scout. Forge coming into handy, getting in that initial early +1 attack. Wall is completed. Speedlings not going to find a lot of an opening here. Looks like the group that got in actually got another probe. That's always helpful. Natural Nexus completes. herO canceling the building part of the wall there. What's this? Oh, this is a battery. Okay. Speedlings just moving around, checking the map. Dark does have a bit of map control right now, but we'll see how long herO wants to really sit on the bases. He's going for definitely a different setup here. He's getting the Twilight first instead of a Stargate. No Oracle play this time. We'll see what that kind of means. What the first upgrade, I mean, I assume it's going to be Blink. I'm assuming it's Blink. It's not something even more absurd. Like, please don't get Glaives at this point. The time for Glaives is long past at this point. I would be quite disappointed to see it. Okay, good. Thank God. It's just Blink. So that means we're going to see something probably transition more towards a more normal PvZ. We're going to get some Stalkers. Have a bit of Blink Micro +2 attack. I honestly really like the usage of the early Forge. Like, yeah, okay, it may have been for some weird cannon play at the start, but that's not all it's being used for. herO is actually getting into quite a sizable upgrade advantage. There's still no Evo chamber for the Zerg, which means it's going to be a fair bit before Dark is able to really catch up on the +2 attack. We'll see though. The Zerg is not without its non-upgrade related advantages. Dark could get a flood of army units at any point. Roach Warren, I believe I saw it was completed. Yeah, okay, it's up at the natural. First Evo chamber on the way as well, so Dark's probably going to start to try to close that gap. Third Nexus, denied, actually. Force Field goes out. Lings get a really nice surround, forcing a recall. They're going to go for the probe, too. Probe will be caught. Stalker will be caught as well. Blink not yet ready. herO bleeding off some of these crucial early units and losing the opportunity to take that third Nexus exactly when he wants to. Dark's going for melee, too. Zergling heavy composition. At this point, I would love to see Dark get Burrow, just to start messing up the base plan for herO. Dark's been kind of going out of his way, making sure to be as annoying as possible, I think, to the Protoss expansion plan here. Blink is completed for the Stalkers, which means they should have a lot easier time dealing with this pack of Lings. Dark's going to make it so that pack of Lings might be a lot larger, though. 18 more on the way. Getting Roach speed, a few Ravagers here to help out. Might be just to shut down the force fields more than anything else, though. Templar Archives. Probe count, just shy of what we would expect to see for kind of a bit of a gateway explosion, a switch into more army production. Dark is going for Bane Nest. Ravager Bane. In this economy, this day and age, are you daft, good sir? Dark hasn't really taken a whole lot of economic damage. Hitting that 3 base saturation level, got 65 drones. Losing a few Ovies. That always hurts, but not the end of the world, I suppose. Dark now starting to really flood the army units. Lings, Roaches, Ravagers, take your pick. Smorgasbord of, appetizers for Zerg lovers here. +2 attack did complete for herO. +3 started almost right away, too. herO really wanting to squeeze every advantage, every ounce of resource out of that forge that he can. I'm not sure now's really the best time to be heading out on the map. Even if you do have Blink Stalkers, it's the lack of splash damage that concerns me. herO's going for Storm, but it's still a little ways away. We've probably got maybe a minute. Dark could try to get something done at this point. A couple Ravagers, with it only being 2, I think it really is for force fields. Oh, okay. Never mind, we're making more than 2. Most unfortunate probe and pylon constructed out here first. Wings start to try to get a little bit of a surround. Roaches able to commit here. Storm still not done. If Dark could pick off the Templar too, it'd be quite a loss for the Protoss. That might just spell game, actually. The Lings get into the mineral line. Quite successful. 15 probes already killed off. This attack is doing quite well. Storm is now completed. There's a few Templar, one Storm. I think I heard Templar die, though. One of the Templar died, at least. Another Storm goes out, hitting the Ravagers pretty square in the face. Dude, they didn't even try to move. The Dark's forces bleeding off quite heavily at the expense of 18 probes, though. I will say, I think that was pretty good. I think that went not too terribly. The Storms helped out with the defense, sure. herO does still have one Templar. Oh, well, I think he just spent his last Storm. 2 more on the way. Energy overcharge might be able to help out. No. No energy overcharge. Oh, we got one. Alright, Storm is here. Goes for the Zerglings, though not a huge amount of health. The Stalkers will eventually clean all that up. And in the War Prism, we have 2 Immortals. A little bit of Prism Micro should be able to shut down the Roaches pretty well. hero's falling a bit more behind on the worker count, though. Not really even trying to replace. Are we just going to go for a bit of a last hurrah here? herO might be feeling a bit upset, a bit slighted at this attack. +3 is going to finish up in 5 seconds or less. +3 finishes up. hero's going to be able to reinforce here, but it's a lot of Zerg. A decent arc and even a bit of a surround from the Zerg is going to secure map number 2. Match point already for the Zerg, my word. Map number 3 in the series shall be Abyssal Reef, here under the water, for what could potentially be the last game, the last map of the series here, depending on how it goes. In the upper left corner, he's down 0-2, but I will never count him out. One of the Protoss champions, a Protoss hero, I could say. It is, of course, herO. And the Zerg here, the bottom right corner, belongs to the currently winning player, up 2-0. Can he close it out? Finish it for the Swarm? It is Dark. Probe. Being problematic. As always. As it should be. Did not block the hatchery, though. I'm pretty sure I saw Dark do a bit of an extractor trick to get the hatchery down just slightly quicker. Able to prioritize that over the Overlord at the initial point. What's the play gonna be here? hero's been having a little bit of a struggle with the mid-game composition, I would say. Dark's been able to get a lot of Lings, a lot of Roaches. The first game, it was a lot of Hydras. Went into the lunge tech, as we saw, speeding around. Bullet train Hydras, as I might refer to them. But herO, I think hero's suffering from a bit of a splash damage issue, because he's been going for Storm both games and not really anything else as far as splash damage is concerned. He's getting a lot of Immortals, okay, a lot of Blink Stalkers, sure, totally fine, but then it's just Storm, and it's like maybe 3 or 4 Templar. Like, we need something, I think, a little more robust in terms of splash damage options. What I'm trying to say, I'm going to come out and say it plainly, I suppose. I want to see Colossus, okay? I want to see some Colossi hit the field. Yes, I know they're easily shut down by things like Vipers, okay? But force the Zerg to get the Vipers. Force the Zerg to make some decisions to actually deal with them. And plus, if they get Vipers, guess what counters Vipers? Feedback. Vipers are very sensitive, okay? They're very weak-willed, not too happy with their lives. They've been picked on, they've been bullied their entire lives. That's a Void Ray. What was I saying? Vipers, picked on, bullied their entire lives. They're very susceptible to feedback, okay? 1-star review, worst thing you could do to a Viper. Feedback just pops right then and there. And then your Colossi is fairly safe. Fairly safe. Roaches might have words to share with him. Okay. That's more normal, herO. You did get the Void Ray, though. The Void Ray, I guess, was just to go clear Overlords. I like it. I do love the choice. I love doing a Void Ray first. It makes me feel like I'm a Pult Protoss with the, Terran's always getting the Viking to go out and clear Overlords. The Void Ray can serve the same purpose for the Protoss. herO's sending it across. Not really going to have any sort of success up against the Queens, but maybe the Oracle will help out. Maybe the Oracle will come up and do a little bit of Revelation. Clear some creep here. Oh, that was what happened, but it was for the Adepts, apparently. The Adepts just being annoying, making sure the creep stays in check, it would seem. Oracle looking around, flying. No disco ball yet. A Revelation tag on the natural hatchery. Poor hatchery. So exposed. All of its secrets, its feelings laid bare for all of social media to gaze upon. Drone. Now, can herO see that? Oh, yeah. I think herO could see that. Okay. Just barely. Forge Twilight on the way. What's our Oracle account? Two oracles, you say? Not nearly as nice as foracles, I agree. A decent amount of Adepts here. This is not Glaives, though. This is a bit of a fake, I think. herO's trying to make Dark maybe a little scared. Force out some extra Zerglings. The Roach Warren's not yet done, but I'd wager once that is completed, Dark's going to be making a few Roaches. Shade's going to complete. Oracle's here to help out. Drones have to be evacuated. Queens respond to the defense here. Spore Crawler not completed in this base. A little bit of a misfire there by Dark. Shades are going to complete once again in the natural. The drones evacuate, trying to hug the left corner. The Adepts, no, they're going after the drones. Drones in peril. My Abathur impression. Another Shade's going to complete, hugging that lair. Recall initiated. 11 drones were the price for that defense, which I'm going to say good job by herO. For that not even being a glaive attack, like I would have called that just a glaive fake. Glake? Fave? No? I don't know. Can't really make that one work. Facetious glaives. Gosh. Aspire. That is not at all what I thought was going to be the answer from Dark here. What? Like, my dude, you just lost 11 drones. You think you can afford mutas? Mutas on the table, huh? Really? Okay. Blink +1 on the way for herO, who's also sending his forces across here. Everything's going to line up pretty well. Stalkers do handle mutas, I would say, reasonably well. It's not, perfect. It's not ideal, sure. It's not like having Phoenix and Archons to deal with mutas, but they can get the job done. It's just not usually very pretty. Oh, blinking around here. Ling's here to help out, get a surround. Oracles turn on the disco beam. Shut down most of the Zerglings, at least. Providing high ground vision. I think +1 attack is definitely going to get denied here. Dark losing that Evo chamber. I don't even think he has a replacement. No, that was it. Spire completes. Mutas arising. Double-digit levels here. Spire is going to be spotted. Will be seen. Will he see the mutas come out? Though the Ling's trying to catch the Adept. I think so. I think just barely catching that there. Queen's here, ready to help out for the defense. Mutas, they'll have to kind of gather a bit together here. They didn't all pop out at once. Stalkers blinking around. Get the jump on those mutas. Transfuse going out on the mutas, too. Very interesting choice here. And I don't think it's really going super well for anybody, really. The Stalkers are being bled off, and the mutas are taking a direct engagement, which is usually not good for mutas either. I don't think that went superbly for anybody involved, really. Dark lost quite a few mutas, and more importantly, lost the surprise factor for the mutas. Mutas, they're kind of one of those, let me get the jump on my enemy units. You want to kind of keep them hidden, sneak around, maybe snipe off a few probes from somebody who hasn't put any cannons down. Oh, that's Lings. Okay, the mutas are over on the right side. Everybody's going to try to come together here, try to pin the stalkers down, but gosh, there's almost as many stalkers as there are zerglings. This isn't going well for Dark, I would say. In every one of these fights, he's bleeding off mutas, which are not, you know, something you really want to be bleeding off. You want to try to get a critical mass, critical number, at least 20, I would say. Get up to like 20 mutas, and then you can start to really play around with them. Start taking those direct fights that we all say mutas suck at. More stalkers coming up. Guardian Shield activated and deactivated almost just as quickly. Thank you, Mutalisks. Blink Micro, looking solid, looking strong. That's a lot of dead Zerglings. herO's blinking aggressively now. Reinforcing pylons coming up too. I think the probe was killed off though. But the probe no longer needed. Just like the Legacy of the Void cinematic, he did his job. We got the pylon down. Quick, warp in 100 zealots. Hello, probe. No zealots? Okay, fine. Stalkers pushing forward. We'll get the hatchery here. The mutas, I think, are just gonna go across the other side here. Dark, I think, might be feeling a bit desperate. Bit desperate for damage here. Stalkers blinking forward, immediately picking off another muta. Defensive posture will be strong. There's plenty of stalkers out on the map too. I think herO might be in a pretty solid position for this, actually. Kind of wound up being a lot of stalkers versus mutas. The Lings, I think, are scarier than anything else, and Lings are not terribly scary. We've dealt with them since the 90s. Okay, at this point, we know what a Zergling looks like. We know how to deal with it. Oh, defensive hoorah here for Dark. Lings get a pretty solid surround. herO cannot not pay attention. herO has to pay attention. Okay. Double negative. Extractor will be picked off here. There's a few zealots. They have charge. Might hold off the Lings for just a bit of a few seconds here. The drones are going to be pulled off too. Get out your claws. Get out your pinchers, boys. I see the mutas over on the left side. They're getting a little bit of damage done. It's not going to be enough though. herO takes map number 3. He's not dead. Protoss for the win. Way to go. Map number 4 in the series shall be Frostline. Welcome, my snow and wintry weather lovers here. The bottom left corner shall belong to the Protoss here. Gets 1 point on the board now. Hope is not dead. It is not over yet. And here, the upper right, still sitting at match point, of course. Could still take it, really. Just needs to kind of get it, you know, non-mutalisk things together, I suppose. Here, it is Dark. Well, that was a treat. I was talking about herO's issue being, you know, kind of lack of splash damage variety, but it didn't really come into play at that point. Sure, Archons could have been helpful, could have helped out, but herO got it done with just blink stalkers and some harsh words, I'm sure. Some language always thrown in there always helps. Just don't put it in the chat, because then it's trash talking, and that's not good. You can mutter it to yourself, though. That's totally fine. Nobody's doing anything unusual so far. No proxies, no cannons, no strange gateways where they don't belong. Okay. And at this point, I'm not sure I would really expect it out of either of them. I think Dark is probably more so the wild card, throwing down something. But when you're up, see, I mean, Dark is up right now, 2-1. I don't think you need to take the risk. I think you're like, things have been going fine. Okay, just need to maybe get out some Hydralisks, because that went pretty well. Both setups there. Initial El Dorado, I think, went very well. herO's going for the Stargate again. We'll follow the probe for a minute here. Will it be the Void Ray again? Should herO try to just rinse repeat? Should you change things up entirely? Go Robo first and get out some, I don't know, wacky disruptors. I don't think you should go disruptors at this point, personally. With the hit they took to their damage, but also the fact that Dark has been really Ling heavy for this series, I don't think disruptors is a great choice. Oh my gosh, it is a Void Ray again. Really? This is a thing now. We're bringing it back. I love it. Quite good. However, the Overlord... Oh, okay, he is here. I could barely see that on the mini-map, actually. Huh. There's two, actually, on the map, so herO might have a little bit of success here. Choosing to send the Void Ray out to the east, it looks like. So should be able to snag... Might be able to snag this one. Oh. 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 Oh, I think he's going to find it. Do you see it? Oh, oh, God, he did see it just barely. All right, Ovi is not getting away this time. A few Zerglings out on the map as well. So Dark's not going to be caught without any vision. It's just going to be probably a whole lot less. Ovi already scrambling to try to get away. Can he? Can the Overlord get away? Oh, I don't think so. No. Couldn't get away, despite how far you ran away. Very sorry, Overlord. Oof. Alright, the Void Ray opener, I'll say, proving rather helpful. A little successful there, forcing Dark to make a few more Ovies. Losing the map vision, always a scary factor, I think, for any player. It doesn't really matter the matchup. You gotta have some level of vision. What's going on? Even Terran players with your fancy map hacks, okay? You guys you send out scouting Marines, you send them across, out to the various bases just to keep tabs on what your opponent's doing, so even Terran players get it. Lair on the way. No Roach Warren in sight, though. Well, I'm curious what's the play then. What's the Lair tech gonna be? Oracles. Fire up those disco lasers, get a couple drones for their trouble. Not too much damage, though. Queen's in position. Dark has not been skipping on the spores either. He's got one in every base, despite the presence of queens. Usually you might pick a base to not get a spore, and you have your queens kind of hover around there. We saw that kind of backfire a little bit in one of the previous games. These Lings? Oh god, they're gonna get the Stalker. Decent surround here, but also a decent position spot. Drones in peril again. A few Adepts sneak into the base here. Dark, again, success with the Adept play. 9, 10? Really? They decide to cancel the shade. They're like, this is going fine. This is going very well. Oh my gosh, 16, 17, Dark. 18 drones killed off. Oh, man. Oh, that hurts. My poor little Zerg heart. That hurts right there. The Protoss heart, it's screaming with joy, though. Happy as could be, sure. I mean, you're always hoping for a little bit of drone damage, sure, but to get that much? Quite beneficial. Creep's gonna be halted as well. Oracle's flying around. They do have another Revelation tag. They could fire up their beams. I see 84 energy on this one. Totally fine. Doesn't look like herO's wanting to really press it, though. Hydration. Alert, guys. Take a drink. Stay hydrated. It's rough out there, okay? Fifth hatchery on the way, placed very far away. Lings make their way over to the third base. Decide to go after a few probes. Void Ray helping out with the defense here. Stalkers will be backed up, assisted by the Oracles here. Hatch canceled, drone obliterated. Revelation tag goes out. Shutting down the creep yet again on this side. Dark does have this base already, though, albeit rather far away. The Hydra Den completed the choice. Here we're just kind of skipping the Roach tech, which I can't really fault, I suppose. Hive on the way. Is Dark going to kind of Is he lunging for tech here? Is he doing a bit of a reach? Hydra speed boost. Dashing through the tech tree. Ooh, solid energy overcharge. Restoring the setup on that Oracle. Get a few more stasis wards out. I feel like we all kind of know what energy overcharge is really for. At this point, it's like sentries in the early game for hallucinations, scouts, oracles in the mid game for stasis wards, and maybe revelation tags, but not. Revelation was never super heavy on the energy tags. And then late game, High Templar for, storms as needed. Any other major energy things late game? I mean, not really. I feel like High Templar are kind of the go-to for that thought. He's getting Colossi too. I feel vindicated here, hopeful. Please do it. He's getting the Templar Archives behind this too. He's actually prioritized the Colossi first and not really been out on the map trying to get a lot of damage done with the Blink Stalkers. I think herO might be trying to just set up kind of a big engagement here. Maybe 4 Colossi, 4 to 6. Getting the Templar behind this too. Do you even get Storm? Yeah, I'm thinking Archons at this point. I mean, Storm would definitely be helpful. Dark does have the Vipers already out, already on the way. They need some energy though. They're gonna have to whip out their straws, start to get ready for the battle here. Do you have Lunge? Not yet. Lunge not quite completed. But also not, I would say, supremely necessary up against Colossi. You need to make sure you spread out, have a little bit of an arc. But that's something you can do with, move commands. A few Zealots make their way over to the far right here. Dark's going to have to pull the forces back to deal with this. Even though it's just really a few Zealots, it's going to give herO the opportunity to get into a solid aggressive position for Colossi. The magic number. No Storm here. More Templar being warped in. Probably turn them... Oh, no, we're keeping them in the prism. Is it for feedbacks? The forces for Dark are gathering. The drones evacuated. Hatchery will pay the price for this time, though the prism yoinked. One feedback goes out, so one of the Vipers gets hit with it. There's still one Viper with energy, though. I don't think it's going to be enough to yank all 4 Colossi, though. There are lurkers out for Dark. I don't see the Observer. Where's the Observer? The Observer is way out of position here. And we have no oracles. Ugh. Oh, that's tense. Okay, so herO's going to try to get this done without the detection? No way. Absolutely not. Don't do it. Viper's moving forward. Abduct goes out. Colossi immediately picked off. Like I said, I know they're shut down pretty easily, but at least it forces the tech. It forces the micro. Blinking around, going for some of those Hydras. Vipers trying to drink up again. Go for another Colossi. Excellent choice for the Zerg here. A few Zealots make their way into the natural. Might be able to get a bit of damage done here. herO just rotating around, picking off whatever he can. Another hatchery is going to fall. A little bit of drone damage in there too always helps. Dark is, I think, in a little bit of trouble. A little bit of hot water here. There's not enough lurkers to really, call this a lurker defense, lurker option. Hydras, they do have their lunge attack, or lunge speed boost to help out with their attack, is how I should probably word them. Oh no. Oh no, getting the jump on them? Really? Oh, blinking forward. We'll pick off one of them. Hydras respond with the not blink of their own. Speed boost, I should call it movement-related ability. Lurkers creeping forward, moving up the ramp here. There's one Colossi, many observers at this point. Still no Storm, which makes me question the amount of High Templar we have. That Storm, oh, it's 10 seconds out. Oh gosh, it's so close. I'm not even sure herO needs it really at this point, though. The Stalkers are trying to get closer to the Lurkers. Observers are here, happy to help out. The detection is working strong. The army is holding the high ground. The Lurkers are gone from the low ground. Has herO done it? Is he tying it up? The Vipers picked off Hydra's angry, speeding around here. Oh my gosh, they get both of the Vipers. Army supply is dwindling. These Stalkers, I think, are the real target for Dark for some reason. He is mad, he's angry at the Stalkers. All the forces now have to kind of come together here. There's 3 Immortals and an Archon, which, see, doesn't sound like a whole lot, but is actually pretty solid. Oh god, he's got 5 Immortals, plus Tempest and Templar out the galore. Good god, herO's got this. herO just needs to not lose everything. Okay, just don't take a bad fight. Make sure your stuff actually fights back, But herO should be okay. There's a lot of Hydras on the way, though. He does have Storm, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Templar. Yeah, 5 Templar with Storms. Tempest, Immortal will serve kind of a backbone, making sure that there's enough damage going out between the Storms. It's a lot of Immortals. 7. Oh my gosh, okay. Everything's getting set up here. Gotta zoom out the Hydras, start to engage here. Storms go out, decent connections, lunge to respond. The Protoss army just gotta hold it together. Tempest able to shell things from a little far away. Oh, Dark speeding up. It's all kind of falling apart now. The Zerg forces are really split. Dark decides to go for the Nexus here on the far left. Gets quite a few probes, but these forces are not here to actually help out with the army. And I don't think Dark wins the army battle. If they actually come to blows, I'm pretty sure herO's got this. Oh god, even the Zealots are just causing a lot of havoc. The army supply is almost 2 to 1 in the Protoss' favor, which is never good math, I suppose, for the Zerg. Recalls initiated, mainly just Immortals. Decent Storm goes out as well. The Protoss forces now can just chase down this ragtag group of band of Zerg mercenaries. Call it there. Wow. herO holding strong, standing tall is going to tie this up 2 to 2. Are we looking at a possible reverse sweep here? Dark. Here we are, the grand finale. The map shall be Whispers of Gold. Map number 5 in a best-of-5. Always exciting to see this point. It is truly anybody's game at this point then. Match point for both. This ends here and now, one way or another. Will it go to the Zerg, who was showing quite a bit of strength, bit of dominance, I'll say, in the early portions of the game? Game, series, that kind of thing. You get it. Or will it go to herO, the Protoss, who has been bouncing back, I'll say, quite strongly? Getting Colossi in the last match. Yes, they got abducted, yoinked by the Vipers, but I'd still stand by my statement. It forced Dark to make some choices, some decisions that I don't think Dark would have made otherwise. Would Dark have made Vipers without Colossi? I don't think so. I think it forced out a specific response from the Zerg, which is good. That means, herO is sort of controlling the flow, the game at that point. Then herO can make decisions to try to counter that, like the High Templar, to feed back the Vipers, that kind of joy, that kind of good stuff. We'll see how map number 5 goes, though. I'll say that last one definitely, both of the last games really went rather differently than I would have expected. Dark going for mutas in map number 3 was a bit of a surprise, and herO whipping out the Colossi, and that last one was unexpected, I would say. At this point, though, things, I'll say, still looking relatively normal, relatively fine. Who do you think's been playing better? It's showing better stuff at this point in the series? I don't know. I mean, of course, my heart, wants to, go with favor the Zerg and say that Dark's doing great, but honestly, I've been really liking some of the decisions that herO's been making. Some of the control, some of the micro. I think I'm going to have to pour out my favor to the Protoss at this point. I kind of want to see herO take it at this point. It's a bit of a good story. Void Ray yet again. I like the decision. Okay, starting things off similarly. Behind this, I'm sure you know it. We're gonna have one Oracle. Then we're gonna have two Moracles. Metabolic boost completing rather quickly. No pun intended, I suppose here. Spores on the way. Overlord decides to just actually head into the base here. Dark says, well, I'm going to lose it anyways. I might as well get a little bit of vision, a little bit of intel. Oracle coming up behind it. Big surprise. Evo chamber, huh? Interesting. Quick +1, I think. There is, of course, the avenue of thought, paradigm, where you try to counter the Stargate play with a very quick +1 and a lot of Zerglings. Those Oracles, Void Rays, I mean, they don't deal with Zerglings supremely well. Like, yeah, Oracles, of course, kill most things quite well because they have spell damage tied to their attack, but they still can only hit one target at a time. It costs energy. If the Oracle runs out of energy, it is over at that point. That Nexus is going down. Chomp, chomp, I suppose. +1 attack is on the way, so Dark might try to line this up with a bit of a Ling-sized explosion. Void Ray, lost in his purpose. Needs to get a hobby, find something that he enjoys. A Bane Nest. Intriguing choice. Oracles move in. Loses one of the Oracles, oh no. Adepts moving in, yet again shading around here. I think that timing on the Oracles may have been a bit of a misfire. Then they really should have lined this up with the Adepts moving in. Shades go out, natural, drones in peril, fear abound. Oh, fear turns into rage. Drones, I saw do a bit of an attack there. Pincers pulled, claws whipped out here. 10 drones so far in total. Time and history are repeating themselves. Dark is losing a bit too much to these initial Adept attacks. 10 drones picked off. Some of the Adepts do make it out. I'll say good for the Protoss, sure. Always nice to actually get some of the Adepts out too. You don't lose everything in that attack. And +1's getting close here. The Bane Nest is completed. No lair for Bane's speed just yet, so this is going to be a lot of Zerglings, I think. Does Dark even make any Banelings? Doesn't look like it. Oh, a solid block. Warp in with the Zealot there. Nicely done. Well positioned, well placed. The Lings, they're just going to head home at this point, really? It's all shut down. Dark's plan here with the +1 kind of denied. Will not find any damage in that mineral line. Charge on the way before blink. herO's going for a definitely different style of attack here. Instead of going heavy blink stalker, we're going to see a lot of Zealots, which is nice to deal with the Zerglings, sure. Get +1 attack for sure, but I mean, if Dark goes for Banes, it could be a problem. If Dark gets his Hydra Den up and running, that could be a problem. Hydras are a really nice anti-gateway unit. They do help with, again, things like charged Zealots. Not usually very pretty, I'll say, but it gets the job done. I think herO's trying to hide the Zealots at this point. Yeah, he wants us to be a little bit of a surprise here. Charge will be spotted, though. Zealots do get surrounded, but that +1 attack is not yet done. Doesn't look like it's gonna matter, though. Oh, just barely. Really. Okay, attack now in full swing, full force here over on the far right. Zealots leading the charge upon very intentional Banes trying to get morphed in here. They'll want to go straight for the Zealots. I think it might be too little too late, though. Not enough to save the Queens. 22 drones. 24 have fallen. More Zealots on the way. It's a disaster. Chaos on the map erupts. herO just goes for the throat with a Zealot strike and is looking to be wildly successful. The Void Ray is going to be picked off, reinforcing Hydras here, but there's more Protoss than Hydras. Look at that, there's 13 Zealots. 9 Hydras up against 2 Stalkers too. Storm's on the way. Oh, yeah. Okay, herO, you're getting Storm at this point. Come on. You've got this. Closing it out here. His hatchery's now going to be the target, I think. Revelation spots the Hydra's coming. Oh, the Banes. Split one off. Nicely done. Solid control. Solid micro there. The hatchery's picked off, destroyed. This one's still intact, so Dark isn't, completely out of it, but things are not looking great. Resources lost. Yikes. Oof. That's a definite oof there. Prism is here to help out, support some reinforcing warp bins. I see an Archon on the way. Templar here. Storm. That's probably a good 20 seconds out. Never mind. Chrono boost. Beautiful thing. Bane's here. Starting to lead the charge. Rolling forward. We'll actually get decent connections on the front wave of Zealots, but I still think it's just going to be too much Protoss. Storm is done now. I think as soon as the first storm goes out, Dark is probably just going to call it. I don't blame him for sticking around, though, trying to make sure it is actually over when you decide to tap out. Storm goes out. They're beautiful connections thanks to the Prism, and like I said, Storm goes out and Dark just calls it. It is over. herO with a bit of a show here. Lets Dark take the first two maps to make things interesting, get a bit of tension going, and then swings back. Variety of builds too. I quite like the idea here, this last one, to really go for an aggressive style charge coming into play. Goes for the throat, finds the hit, and takes the series. Well done. Well earned victory. Well played to them both, of course. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.